Hey, Meral. Hey, Coconuts.
Hey, coconuts. Hi, someone. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Mhm.
How's your week?
So my week was super boring. I basically both me and my brother have my brother has a lot of assignments and I'm like studying and stuff. So like I guess the week has just gotten like all weeks have become boring and plus I didn't get to see you. So it was like
Yeah.
yeah. How about you?
Yeah.
How was your week?
Well, it was sad. I didn't get to see you. We usually meet up, but yeah, we're currently in season break.
Mhm.
But yeah, my week was okay. I had a party yesterday. I was at a party yesterday. It was interesting. It was really nice, but I mean, my heart wasn't into it because I'm sad. But
Mhm.
um, yeah. And I met a friend today, and we actually talked about what you and I are going to talk about today. So that was fun. It was
Yeah.
intellectual conversation. So yeah.
Yeah. I guess me and like I went out with my family today. We went and had dinner outside, and I drank a cup of coffee, so I'm like a bit hyped up.
Yeah, I had like a really frothy ice coffee caramel coffee thing. Oh my God, I'm like in a cloud, like my head's in a cloud right now.
I love
So
it.
yeah.
I feel like our heads should always stay there in cloud.
In clouds, honestly, because down here it ain't that nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But before we talk about that, someone, do you want to tell our coconuts about season 3?
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So season 3 is gonna be a little bit different, and we're gonna
Mhm.
start. Hopefully, our first episode is gonna come out on June 8th. And the way it's gonna be different is that we're gonna be posting every other week as opposed to every Tuesday, like we have been for like almost 2 seasons now. I
Yeah.
think our first episode was like in Jan, so like it's been a while. Like I'm kind of proud of that. So like yeah. Anyways, yeah. So for the next like season, it's gonna be every other Tuesday. So yeah, don't be sad, guys. We're just gonna be updating you. And also with YouTube, we haven't really decided when we're gonna be posting like every like we're gonna try to post every week, but it's not for sure. So yeah, bear
Yeah.
with us. We'll come up with a plan. Yeah, so June 8th, be prepared.
Be prepared. Follow us on Instagram,
Oh yeah.
Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. We're all there. And it's still gonna be the same thing. Like you're still gonna get amusing every Saturday, a picture every Sunday, and a poem or a quote regarding our podcast coming up episode
Right.
every Tuesday, Monday.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be every other week. So one episode per 2 weeks.
Mhm.
My math is terrible still. That is
No,
my
don't worry.
update.
I'm pretty sure our coconuts are really intelligent and they figured it out.
Yeah. I just moral explained it because it's
Yeah.
not mansplaining, it's moral explaining because I was explaining it to
I
myself
love
as
it.
well.
Morale planning means that you get a little bit more confused.
Yeah, you walk out knowing less than you knew when you came in.
Exactly. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
So it's been
sorry, I was just gonna say that like we have been like really quiet on our Instagram. We usually post like at least we post stories and stuff. But like yeah, it's just that like this whole like month almost like it's just been super heavy on us. Like especially like I mean we posted a whole like episode about it too, the Israeli occupation and all of that stuff, and it's still like something that's like going on and it's like weighing heavy on our consciousness, and like so that's why we've been a lot more quiet I guess, and just yeah, reflecting and stuff. And we're here to like talk a little bit more about it today. So what do you call it, Moral, you want to take tell us a little bit like what happened after this the supposed ceasefire like
ceasefire. Yeah. Well, I mean, a ceasefire was announced, but see, someone, you know how like, so I remember when I was in grade 8, okay, our friend Noor Ramzi, I don't know if you remember her, she's a doctor now. She said something like, when a person is sick, and because one of our classmates was sick, and we were just like, oh, we should make her a get well soon card. She goes like, when you say get well soon, it feels so aggressive, like you're telling them what to do. And it also feels fake. Like it should be something like, I feel better. I hope you feel better.
Mhm.
With ceasefire, see, when we hear ceasefire, we think it's calming the situation down and basically putting a stop to it. But apparently, some people, Yahoo people,
Mm.
um, hear that as a, we'll continue attacking quietly and just postpone our plans
Mhm.
because there's too much attention.
Yeah.
So that's what's been happening with the so-called ceasefire, because again, it wasn't a fair fight.
Mhm.
And what is more insane is that what was happening in Sheikh Jarrah is also happening in Silwan, which is another place in Palestine. It's also Israeli occupied. It's in East Jerusalem, and it's being targeted by Israeli settlers. It has around 33,000 Palestinians, not 33, not 1,000, 33,000 Palestinians that live there. And 230 Palestinian families face ethnic cleansing from their homes in Silwan, because, if we did it with Sheikh Jarrah, they can do it with Silwan, because no one is stopping them. When a child misbehaves, you should
Reprimand them.
not smack them. Yeah, I mean, we're in this age now. I mean, you and I were smacked with God knows every household item in the world, but you're supposed to basically tell a child, that's not our plan. We're going to try and be better human beings. Apparently, there's no parent controlling Israel. And someone brilliant once said BBC is like British Bakwas Central. Bakwas means trash.
Mhm.
And I completely agree by it, because whatever human being or robot wrote articles on the ceasefire, they're making it sound like the tragedy of losing over 200 Palestinians is the equivalent of 12 Israelis. Now, again, I'm not saying that it's good that people died. It's not okay. Any life lost is a life lost for most of humanity, for every person in their premises, and so on and so forth. But to make it sound like, oh, this Israeli guy's kitchen exploded, so upsetting.
Mhm.
And then making it sound like it is the same kind of burden that 200 Palestinians and so many families have faced. That's not okay. So,
I saw
yeah,
that.
so that's what's happening.
Sorry to interrupt you. I mean, I saw that picture of this family having a birthday party, and they were
Mhm.
sitting on like the ruins of their house. Like, you know what I mean? It was so like devastating to see something like that. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I saw that picture, and there was another picture of this boy whose house was destroyed, but he took like a sheet and he slept on the rubble because that is where his heart is. And it's kind of like again, like Blair Imani is this person that I follow on Instagram as well, and she said something like, privilege is looking away from what's happening as well. So that's a level of privilege, like to be filtered from all of this. It's so upsetting with
Mhm.
everything that's happening. So don't tell me this is equal. Don't show me that this is a clash. It's not a clash. This is oppression. This is apartheid. This is ethnic cleansing, and it's not okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah. But about the Yahoo people, I was very interested to know more about this person, but I'm not going to say his name, mostly because it's like a Bloody Mary situation for me. Because I feel like if I say the name, not even 3 times, just once, he'll just come and take my scarf, because apparently he likes it and wants to use it like a tablecloth. So don't
Yeah.
know. Sorry.
Yeah, and he'll claim that he has right over it. Like
Yeah,
he owns it.
like you didn't buy it, I bought it. That was my money.
Yeah.
You bought Pepsi, that was my money.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you call it? Okay, so anyway, so we're basically talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong because like I honestly don't know how to say it. And from now on
Nintendo Yahoo.
we're gonna be calling him Nintendo. We're gonna be calling
Yahoo.
him Yahoo. Okay. All right.
Because we
Okay.
also don't use Yahoo. We only use Google, which is bad, but yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so basically, like, these are like some of the things that I found out about him. Okay, so he was born in 1949, which is quite relevant because 1949 is when World War II ended. So yeah. Anyways, he was born in 1949. His dad was a historian, and he was like a very very strict father, and he was like very like he was a Zionist basically, and he was a very strong political figure as well, and he despised like left-wing Israelis that wanted there to be peace between Palestine and Israel, like he opposed them completely, like he literally hated them. So like yeah, anyways, and he also was a historian, and he used to work in America like as a professor. So yeah, that was basically his like upbringing, like this is the guy that raised him. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so he was born in, yeah, 1949. Then he moved to the US in 1963, Yahoo, and he studied in Pennsylvania, where his father was the like professor, and the father taught Jewish history there. And yeah, anyways, like he stayed there. And then like, okay, so I was reading some of the students that he was with, like during that era in like 1963, the Vietnam War was going on, and majority of the students in the US, like in universities and stuff, they opposed the Vietnam War. They hated it because a lot of American lives were being lost and all of that, like so like, but like Yahoo, he was extremely pro Vietnam War. So he was like weird since the beginning of time. Like, he was like, he supported the war. He thought it was like, just and like whatever. So like, yeah, anyway, so he was like a huge weirdo since then. And then in 1967, after he graduated, he went back to Israel for his military obligations, because in Israel, what happens is that like after you graduate, you have to do, like after high school, you actually owe the military a certain number of years. So like, anyways, yeah, so he went back for his military thing, and there he volunteered for like an elite force in the IDF, and he served there for like 6 years, and he retired because he got wounded or something. And he retired at the status of like a captain, like because, and also like apparently during that time he committed a lot of like bloodshed, and he was like very notoriously famous for being a really great fighter or whatever, like yeah.
Wow.
So he did that, and then he returned to America after he got wounded and he left the army. He returned to America, and then he went to MIT, and he received a bachelor's of science from MIT. And then he received a bachelor's of science in architecture and in management studies. And he also studied political sciences at MIT and in Harvard University in 1976. So the guy's a genius. And yeah, so from then on, he started working in Boston. And then he went back to Israel in 1973 because like there was a war going on. So he like took part in the like he joined the IDF again, same elite like unit that he was in. Yeah. Then he like ended up going back to America, and I think like during this time he became an ambassador for like how like we have like what do you call it, what are they called, like how the British thing is here in Saudi Arabia too, the consulates, like what are those people
Oh,
called?
diplomat?
Yeah, like
Diplomats, council generals.
yeah, he became something like that, like he represented Israel in America, like you know what I mean. Yeah, so he did that. Also then in like 1978 he lost his, no, not in like some year or whatever, he lost his brother, his oldest brother, who was also like part of the IDF, and like he just like, I don't know, he like passed away.
Like Hitler.
And then yeah, dude, there were so many similarities with like really like notorious like evil people, I would say, like like he blamed a lot of like the things that happened in his life on like people that didn't do anything, like you know what I mean, like I don't know, like Hitler, I guess. You're right.
I'm sad.
Okay.
Let's invade Poland. Sorry.
Yeah, then in like 1988 is like when he entered the political sphere, and he like in Israel, like he came back, and like he just like from then on, like he started like just like getting really involved with politics. I think I think it was 1996 when he first became prime minister. Yeah, he became prime minister of Israel in 1996, and that lasted till 1999, and then he like left. Okay, like I mean, I think he got like somebody else won, you know what I mean, like yeah, so that happened. And then in 2009 he got reelected and as prime minister, and since then he's still been prime minister. I don't understand how that works, because like shouldn't it be 4 years, or like if 8 years or something?
8 years.
Yeah, like it was so
Yeah.
confusing to me, like he's still prime minister, like the person that was supposed to like that was opposing him in like 2005 or something like that, that person got like
Mhm.
sick or something, he got hospitalized and he passed away. And so like
Mhm.
that's why like he was the only choice left, and he won, but he was like people did not want him because he was like
Mhm.
he lost the popular vote kind of like Donald Trump, like people didn't really want him
Okay, yeah,
because he was super
right.
like he was super right wing, like super right wing, like he just he oh my god, there's this famous quote from like 2001 or 2000 and I don't know where he said like what did he say? Oh, it was in 2001, and like somebody like asked him about Palestinian. He said that like, oh, they you did like you're supposed to beat them up not once but repeatedly, beat them up until they hurt so badly until it's unbearable. He literally said that. So
Okay, if there was ever a sign
yeah,
for a psychopath or sociopath,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure this guy's textbook definition. Like, this is
exactly,
nuts.
exactly.
It's nuts. Like, someone, I was looking at the numbers, okay, and like I wanna say the numbers because like this is what's bugging me. Even like, okay, like I'm sorry, but even Al Jazeera, and I have so much respect for that like news outlet, and I know they were also harmed in everything that was happening in the past few weeks, but even they keep calling it a conflict, and it's not a conflict. Like, just look at these numbers, okay? Like, the numbers you should know, guys. Like, this is from Pally Roots, which is a really good Instagram page that you should follow. It's on Twitter as well. 250 plus Palestinians were killed, 66 of whom were children, and 39 were women. Over 2,000 people have been wounded, 33 media institutions destroyed, 1,800 housing units destroyed, 5 high-rise buildings destroyed, one of them being the media outlet and the media building, and 91,000 has been displaced. And this is still going on. Like, they had the first day of Eid, what, like 10 days after Eid had passed. But
Mhm.
even with that, like, Israel decided to do something. Like, it's so stupid. And then Israel's numbers, we should all remember this: 12 people died.
Yeah,
Like, oh
yeah,
my God.
and like no
A
damage
dozen,
to property, literally.
no property, nothing was harmed. Like, again, like from our last video and our last podcast episode, if you'll notice, they have thousands in military, thousands in Navy, thousands in police, like IDF, but who also look like peacekeepers from the Hunger Games, but peacekeepers. And Palestine has nothing. They only have stones.
Mhm.
It's so bad. Like, everyone's trying to explain, like, I'm obsessed with TikTok, and I've been watching some of the things that people have been posting about their journey to Israel, and they're just like, we're ashamed of being a Jew because it is terrible what they're doing. And you see what they do, they kind of strip you of your dignity. Like, if you're Palestinian, it doesn't matter if you're Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, you're Palestinian, that's it, no dignity whatsoever, and it's terrible. And as a psychology major, I really want to go into trauma counseling. Like, anyone who knows me knows this. But so PTSD would be the thing to study for that. So you'd be working in a trauma center. Thing is, in Palestine, there's no such thing as PTSD, because PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. There is no post. The trauma is still ongoing. Like, I was speaking to my Palestinian friend, and she's like, our parenting styles have changed because when her parents were children, they didn't play football. They didn't, you know, go and play hide and seek or go to the Bukala to get like an ice cream cone or whatever. They only knew responsibility, and they knew fight or flight. That's it. And obviously that changes your parenting styles, and that impacts generations. It's ridiculous. I don't understand when this will stop. Like, it's ridiculous to the point that you're so angry that you just start laughing because it's ridiculous. It's kind of like when Donald Trump was running the world. It's like, how is this even happening?
Oh my God,
So
speaking of Donald
yeah.
Trump, that was when he won the 2016 election, Yahoo or whatever, he ran he like his re-election was based on him being really good friends with Donald Trump, like because people like
Mm.
thought he was funny and like people liked him or whatever, I don't know, whatever, but like a lot of his campaign was based on Donald Trump as well. And then Donald Trump did like change the relationships between the Middle East and Israel in a way, like one of the things that he did before leaving office was the borders got opened to Israel for a lot of Middle Eastern countries when it wasn't like that before. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. I remember like a few years ago they shaved or paved a place on the mountain that overlooks Gaza and Palestine, like Gaza. So people could, you know how you sit down and watch fireworks? People do this for the 4th of July in the
Oh
States.
yeah,
Yeah, they would do that, but for rockets landing in Gaza.
that's so
And like
sad.
they still do it. Like there's a picture, and the caption was, guys, if there was ever a picture to describe sociopaths, like,
Yeah,
oh my God, 12 Israelis died. Okay, I am sorry for their loss. I really am. As a human being, I think anyone who dies or is killed, this is not okay. But come on, man. How is this a conflict or a clash? It's not
right.
a fair fight.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
none of the Palestinians or like people in Gaza or West Bank or whatever, they're not celebrating the loss of Israeli lives. Like I mean, like
no one does.
like you know what I mean? Like so, but they celebrate the loss of like Palestinian lives. Like oh my God, there were so many. Like I heard, you know the women that are in their army, the IDF or whatever, they make like TikToks of them like twerking and dancing and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I watched this whole like I was like, wow, like they legitimately bombs are dropping, war is going on. You know, supposedly the Israelis are so scared right now because of like terrorism. Wah. Like you know, they're so afraid, but like their
Yeah.
soldiers at
Oh,
times
my kitchen exploded.
like makes no
Yeah.
sense. Like how do they have time to just like chill around like this and make TikToks? Obviously, they're not doing anything except like like you know, yeah, it's just all fake, man. Like they're
Yeah.
trying to play victim when honestly, like anyone with eyes and ears, like they'll know, like they should understand that they're not the victim here. Like Palestine's the victim.
It's like, yeah, not to demonize a really, really good reference, but it's kind of like Regina George. You know,
Hmm.
like at the end of Mean Girls, when she like puts her own picture down, she's like, oh my God, I'm in the burn book, blah.
Yeah,
But it's kind of just like, I mean, obviously there was a lot of redemption in the character and lots of character growth, but let's be
yeah,
honest, we're kind of like stuck in that scene.
yeah,
It's terrible. I'm lost for words with how ridiculous it is, and I'm honestly like, I'm ashamed. I feel like we should be doing so much more. By the way, again, Palestine is out of the news cycle. Okay, it is, but please boycott their products. Today I saw this life cycle of how you buy Israeli products, the profit goes and drops bombs on Palestinians, right? Doesn't matter if they're Muslim, Christian, or Jews, doesn't matter if they're atheists, they're Palestinians, they get bombed. But if you boycott their products, you're cutting off their supply. So
yeah.
please try to boycott as much.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but like, you know, honestly, I just read like today in the morning that like the you know the 73 $735 million thing that Biden like
Mhm.
approved, it is going through. Like they're sending like a 73 $735 million worth of bombs to Israel, like, you know. So like, I mean, how much money are we saving with the 50 real or dirham, I don't know, Coca-Cola
Yeah.
crap, like, you know. So it's not like yeah, but anyways, though you're right though, like we should all like boycott it, but like I wish we could do it on a huge scale, like you know the whole, like our countries like completely ban their products, like you know what I mean, on like that kind of
Yeah.
like a scale. But like honestly, just like what, like maybe a million people do it, it's really not making much of a difference, as opposed to like, you know, and especially
That's the thing. Yeah.
knowing full well that like other governments, like even the UK government, even the like Canadian government, even the US government, they're like literally supporting them. Like the Yahoo guy, he like did a like a press conference like a few days back where he was like, oh, I want to thank Boris Johnson, I want to thank Biden, I want to thank like oh like I'm gonna throw up, bro.
Yeah, I know. What was more pathetic about that was that like they tweeted the flags of the countries that they were like happy with support of, but India was not left was not included, and so many Indians were just like, oh, but India stands with Israel. It's just like, okay, yeah, but when you needed aid, I'm pretty sure the surrounding countries around you helped you out. They didn't really care what religion you were from.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, yeah, honestly, like Israel has never helped any other country, and if you think about it, they have freaking, I was reading that they have like 100% like free healthcare. Even Americans
Yeah.
have that. Like
Americans don't have free healthcare either.
their
Yeah.
vaccine rollout was so fast. They vaccinated everyone and like right away, like, because America literally sent them half their vaccines. Like even they weren't able to do what Israel did. Like even Canada has not been able to
Yeah.
vaccinate all its people. Like, you know what I mean? Yet like other, like, I mean, they should be ashamed of themselves. Like these countries should realize that Israel doesn't
Yeah.
care about them, like legitimately does not care about them. They're just using them as a ploy, like a, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Like even I was really disappointed even with Nas Daily, like everyone's boycotting him too. I really like Nas Daily, honestly. But dude, like once your views are out there, that's when you realize like, oh, do I really want to be friends with someone or like watch someone who supports the apartheid or like ethnic cleansing? Like, no, sorry. Don't plan to stand behind a psychopath today. But
Oh my God.
yeah.
Okay. Before we like end, I read this really funny meme. It had a picture of like, how like on Vogue people do like, oh, guys, I'm gonna go over my beauty cleansing, my nightly cleansing routine or something. So
Yeah.
there was a meme and it was a picture of Gail Gadot and it was like, oh, welcome to my ethnic cleansing routine. And I was
Oh my
like,
God.
so funny. I
That's
laughed
the
at
thing.
that
It's
for
so
5 minutes.
yeah, we like it's so oh
Like
God,
it's
we're
so
all so
depressing. It's true.
yeah, it's so depressing. That's just it. It's so difficult to be an optimist like during these times as well, because like the most you can be is a cynical optimist, because honestly, it's terrifying what we're being exposed to and what our children are being exposed to as well. It's just what are you gonna say?
Mhm.
But that being said, I hope anyone who watches this has learned a little bit more.
Yeah.
And please do post about Palestine. And please keep looking up the different websites and Instagram pages. We've put them on our Twitter and Instagram. So do check them out. They're pretty authentic.
Mhm.
So follow the Kurd siblings. They have a lot to say. They're the ones living in Sheikh Jarrah right now.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I recently started following them as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Okay, guys. I know I kind of bored you guys with the history of Benjamin
No.
Yahoo, but like, my basic point is
No.
that he was born evil. Like,
Bad. Was
he
born evil.
yeah, like his entire like beginning arc is like a art like a villain. He has a super villain
Yeah.
story. Like, he
He
became
does.
super smart and he's just super right wing. He's best friends with Trump. He's just like, even that Jakub guy, Jakub or whatever his name was, Jacob Jakub, I don't remember,
Yeah.
the guy that was stealing the land or whatever. He was like a super MAGA like Trump supporter and like whatever. Like everyone that is,
It's a given thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
you should just know that these people are evil. Like it's just like, I don't know. They just, yeah. Anyways, all right, guys.
All right. See you guys on June 8th with our new episode of season 3. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Bye, coconuts.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Meral.
coconuts. Bye. Bye, someone.